Sadguru, I wanted to know that when we are silent, still we feel that mind chattery, which always bothers us, and our thought always shifts back to past and future imaginations, which will not be any of output. How to get rid of it?
You want to stop your mind? A whole lot of thought about this thoughtlessness. Thoughtlessness, no mind, these kinds of terms have been propagated all over the place, and these terms have been badly misunderstood and made into all kinds of things, and people are striving how to stop my mind. It took millions of years of evolution to get a mind of this kind of capability, isn't it? Millions of years of tremendous amount of nature's work that today you have a mind of this kind of scope. And now you want to stop it. Why is it that you want to stop it? If your mind was constantly producing absolute pleasantness for you, would you think how to stop this mind? Would you? No. It's producing a lot of unpleasantness. That's why you're thinking of how to stop the mind. This is the first thing, wherever you go in the world, this has gone so much into people's mind. If you tell them you meditate, they say, "But Sadhguru, I'm not able to stop my mind." I said, that will happen only after you stop your kidneys, liver, heart. You stop all these things, then the mind will also stop. Do you want it to stop? No. Then why do you want the mind to stop? Why do you have such a horrible prejudice against the mind? You don't mind if your heart is beating, you can meditate. You don't mind if your liver is working, you can meditate. Your kidneys are functioning, you can meditate. If your brain functions, you can't meditate, what is the problem? You seem to have something against intelligence, isn't it? This is the conspiracy of the stupid against human intelligence, that to meditate means your brain must be frozen. No. You don't have to freeze your brain. We were looking at this yesterday itself. We will initiate you into Shambhavi. It's a simple process. There are many ways to do it. This is one simple way. But it's a powerful process. If you sit here, you will see your body is here, your mind is somewhere, who you are is somewhere else. Once there is a space between you and the mind, then what the mind is not doing, what the mind is doing is not even an issue. It is like you're stuck in the traffic jam. You're struggling through the traffic. That's one experience. Suppose you're either standing on Chamundi Hill or you're floating in a hot air balloon and look down at all the traffic. Very peacefully, traffic. Why? There's a distance, isn't it? When you're in it, traffic is a different experience. From really high up there, sitting in a hot air balloon, you look down, you can't even hear the sounds. Looks wonderful, traffic, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes. Because there's a distance. So once there's a distance between you and your mind's activity, mind is not a problem. Mind is a miracle, it is not a problem. And anyway, if thoughts are going continuously, if you're having a mental diarrhea, obviously you ate some bad food, isn't it? Yes. If you're having a physical diarrhea, you ate some bad food, isn't it? If you're having a mental diarrhea, you are obviously consumed something wrong. What this wrong thing could be is, the moment you identify yourself with something that you're not, then you're finished. Your mind is a continuous runs. There is no other way. Do what you want, try as hard as you want, it is not going to stop. If you do not identify yourself with anything that you are not, you know how to be with everything, you know how to use everything, but you're not identified with it, then you will see if you sit here, simply mind will be like this. If you want to use it, you can use it, otherwise it'll be like this. Right now your hands are like this, or you're holding it tied up because it'll go all over, is it? No. You can keep it like this. You can keep it like this, you can keep it like this. When you want to use it, you can use it. So it's a useful instrument. Suppose your hands become like this. You know, some people have become like this. Yes or no? If it becomes like this, you will become ridiculous, isn't it? If it happens to your mind, also you're equally ridiculous. It is just that you are living in the comfort that nobody else can see it. But people can see it. They watch you closely enough, they can see it, isn't it? And whether they can see it or not, that's not the point. The point is, the most important faculty of your life is out of control. Doesn't matter whether they can see it or not, that's not the issue. The issue is, the most important faculty in your life is out of control, doing its own rubbish all the time, not doing what you want it to do. So, if you have to be freed from this ailment, you should stop eating bad food. Wrong food or bad food means you're identifying yourself with things that you're not. If you sit here, if you're not identified with this and with this, then you will see everything is just fine. Then your mind will do what you want it to do. Otherwise, it will simply hang there, and that's how it should be. Mind should not be telling its own stories all the time. It should tell the story that you want it to tell, isn't it? Otherwise, it's quite a nuisance.
Namaste Sadguru. I just had a doubt, I just had a problem which I thought you could give me some solutions for that. First thing was I heard and I practiced yoga because people say it reduces restlessness and helps in focusing. Yeah, it helped me some way in focusing, but rather it didn't help me more in getting out of restlessness. I'm completely restless. I don't know what is the problem. Do you have some solution for that?
So, can your restlessness be taken away and brought to restfulness? Or simply the question is just this, you're giving it too many names. Don't give it too many names for your problems. Your problem is just this, your body and your mind are not taking instructions from you, that's all. Don't give it too many names. You give it too many names because you like to decorate your problems. If you decorate your problem, you may not want to get rid of it. Yes? If you decorate your problem too much, you may not want to get rid of it. This is very simple. Your body is not taking instructions from you, so… Your mind is not taking instructions from you, so… If these two things were taking instructions from you, if you want action, intense action. Do not want action, absolute stillness. Both would be possible, isn't it? So the essential problem is they're not taking instructions from you. Why are they not taking instructions from you? Because you are like a supercomputer without a keyboard. Understand? This is a supercomputer without a keyboard. You know, if your head doesn't work, people do this, it doesn't work that way, this is not where the switch is. Have you seen people scratching their head when it doesn't work? It's not going to work like that. So if you only had a keyboard, you would type out what you want. Now because you don't know where it is, you're punching it all over, all kinds of things are coming out. Once in a way, things that you want happen, most of the time things that you don't want happen. So the thing is to find access to the keyboard, how to operate this machine, which is what we are trying to do. So just pay attention, we will give you a keyboard. Then you type out whatever you want. I don't want to decide what you should type. You type out whatever the hell you want, but what you want should happen. Yes? If your body and your mind does not do what you want, what is the point having them? Losing them is better. No wonder people are talking about no mind. It's not far before, when it becomes very torturous, they will say to be or not to be. What they're saying is no body. Yes? When somebody says to be or not to be, what they're thinking of is a no-body state, isn't it? No body, no mind state will anyway come. Okay, don't ask for it will come anyway. Unasked, it will come and knock on your door one day. Till then, the thing is to use these two wonderful things that you have and see what you can do with this. So, it is just that. For one person, the keyboard may be touch mechanism. Or for one person, it's like this, just a verbal instruction, your phone works. You have a phone like that? With verbal instruction, it works. There is one, if you just lightly touch like this, it'll work. There's another one, if you do this, it'll work. There are some, you have to do that. Have you seen like a 1970s some espionage movie or a James Bond movie? They have a phone which is this big. Have you seen? Have you seen these things? This big phone, bigger the phone, the longer it is going, that's what they meant to say in those movies. Big phone like this. Now only this much phone, hands-free, you can speak. Because technologies have improved. Accordingly, in each person, it may be different kind. One may just change by instruction, another needs light punching, another needs little more, another needs… different kind of people. So, whether you need just 2 days yoga or 2 weeks yoga, 2 months yoga, 2 years yoga, we can decide that after 2 days are over. If 2 days are enough, fine, that's wonderful. If you need more, we must do more. But is it very, very important? Your body and your mind takes instructions from you and you alone and nobody but you. Yes or no? Very important, isn't it? We must do that.
You cannot be as peaceful as a cow. Try as hard as you want. Yes? Can you? You cannot be. You may manage it, you eat, they're not serving today, but I think there's a restaurant open. You eat a lot of pongal, it does usually. You know why people in the south are so peaceful? You eat a lot of pongal. Very peaceful. It does. So, people have tried excessive eating, intoxicants, excessive indulgence in pleasures. With all these things, they have tried to create some kind of peacefulness within themselves. You thought you got there, but next moment you know you're not there. Any number of times it's deceived you, isn't it? Yes? One Saturday evening, your whole family met, all of you had a wonderful dinner, you thought this is the height of the world. Everything is so wonderful, magical. Tomorrow morning you see, not because there is something wrong with your family. It is just that with limited entity, you're trying to create an unlimited space. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. Nothing wrong, it's just that it doesn't work. There are lots of great things in the world which don't work. I'm not interested in them, that's all. You interested in great things? Are you interested in great things? Oh, thank you. I'm not interested in great things. I'm only interested in things that work. I don't want to. There are lots of great things. People claim they're great things, but they don't work, they have not worked for anybody. They're great things because somebody says so. They're great things because somebody thinks too much of himself and whatever he says or does must be great things. But they don't work. We are looking for something that works. If you are determining the course of your experience right now, 100%, you're beginning to, the legs are bloody, legs are aching like crazy, but still, it's beginning to work. If you are determining the nature of your experience right now, 100%, let's say, we'll assume that, if you are, then would somebody have to tell you, please create a pleasant experience? Would somebody have to tell you? No. So somebody telling you be loving, be blissful is all bullshit. Yes or no? Because nobody needs to tell you, be pleasant. The problem is you're not able to determine the nature of your experience, isn't it? Yes? The problem is you're unable to determine the nature of your experience for whatever reasons. If you could determine the nature of your experience, nobody has to tell you, be blissful, be loving, be happy, be this. This is all coming from, patchy ideas about life. You see somebody fighting, you say be loving. You see somebody unhappy, you say blissful. It's most insulting. When somebody is in a great state of unhappiness, going and telling be blissful is most insulting, isn't it? No? But these are all the great teachings on this planet, which have been on for centuries. These are all great things that have never worked. So, we are only seeing how to determine the nature of your experience. If you take charge of what causes experience within you, if you are in charge of that, I'm 100% sure you will make it very pleasant for yourself. And I'm also sure, if you are feeling very pleasant within yourself, you would be naturally pleasant to everybody around yourself. Unfortunately, people have taken it upon themselves to confuse the humanity so badly about their own nature. See, it's very simple. It doesn't take any damn scripture or a guru to tell you this. It's very simple. Whatever the nature of your experience, it's happening within you. Is it so? You don't need some great yoga or a scripture or a guru or a stone that falls from heaven to tell you this. If the nature of your experience, whatever is the nature of your experience, whether it is fear, anger, love, hatred, ecstasy, agony, everything is happening from within you, it would be very natural for human beings to look and see how to make it into a most pleasant experience, isn't it? If you had not freaked them, God loves you from up there, If you had not exported love to heaven, lot of human beings would have been very loving human beings. But now we have exported it out there, you have to import it. For importing it, you need permit. And there are agents here who don't give those permits so easily. It's not coming across because all the love has gone to heaven. How to get it now? Here there's a priest standing here with a permit. He won't give it to you. Whether you want to experience blissfulness, whether you want to experience love, whether you want to experience ecstasy, whatever states of pleasantness human beings have known have come from within them. Is that so? So, there is no need to apply for any permit from anywhere. You just have to become willing to explore what this is, to bring this to the most pleasant state. Not because it's a virtue. Love is not a virtue. Bliss is not a virtue. To be pleasant is not a virtue. It's just that is the way you long to be, isn't it? It is not that if you're loving, you'll go to heaven. It is not that if you're ecstatic, you'll go to heaven. It is just that if you're loving and ecstatic, you don't need a damn heaven. People who've made a hell out of themselves want to go to heaven. People who've made a heaven out of themselves, where do they want to go? Wherever the hell they go, they don't care. So, it's very, very important. If you want to ensure… Is the volume correct? If you want to ensure that the sounds that this one produces is good, the more you know about this whole mechanism, the better sound you produce, isn't it so? Sometimes by chance it may happen, that's different. But the more you know about it, the better. If you are a sound engineer, you produce good sound. So if you are an inner engineer, then you make this the way you want. That's all it takes. It doesn't need anything. It is just that because it's in a different direction than the way you're constantly looking through your sense perception, you need help, maybe. Not necessarily, but generally, yes. You need a certain amount of help, but that's all. Grace is just that help, that it creates a conducive atmosphere to slip in. If any machinery has to perform well, people have started using these words everywhere these days. You need lubricants, some lubricant. Whatever the great car you have, try to run it without oil. Not 10 minutes, it'll be ruined, isn't it? It's the lubricant which is keeping it going. All this great machinery, without that little bit of that thin film of lubricant, it's all destroyed in no time. Grace is just that little lubricant so that things happen smoothly. Now they've started calling it liquid engineering. Everybody started doing it. It's appropriate. Takes liquid engineering. So, this takes little engineering. Grace is just a lubricant. Without the lubricant, if you try to work, the friction, just the friction of life has destroyed too many human beings, isn't it? Yes? Nothing big they did. All they did was simple things. They were born which was not their doing, they didn't do such a big thing. That just happened. They just want to eat well, sleep well, fulfill their basic needs. This is all they want to do. In the process of doing this, how many human beings are broken and bitter and destroyed? Because no lubricant. Nothing wrong with them. They're trying to work their engines without a lubricant. That's all it is. Just see, even your cell phone is working because through thin air, they're conducting the sound for you, isn't it? We can just disturb that. You know those advertisements, hello, 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 hello. You're seeing those things. Phones become like that because there is a little bit of disturbance. That's what is happening with this also. This is a far more sophisticated instrument than anything that you have seen. This needs a little bit of attention. If you pay attention, it pays off.